Perfect. Stacey, so nice to meet you. Priscilla is nice to meet you. Priscilla is one of my favorite films of the year. I've seen it twice now. I cannot wait. Yes, I'm a huge Sofia Coppola fan. And I know that you've collaborated with her for several other projects, The Bling Ring, which is I'm also obsessed with, Somewhere, The Beguiled, On the Rocks. So I honestly just wanted to start. What is it like collaborating with Sofia for the fifth time now, and what is it like being on a Sofia Coppola set? Because that's my dream.
Well, being on her set, like I just want to say it's movie making is stressful and I don't want it to be like, oh, it's all like roses and amazing because it's stressful, but it's like the most relaxed, stressful set that you've ever been on. That is like unique to Sophia. She doesn't I don't know what the right words would be, but she's just very even keeled and doesn't she just steers the ship in a very calm way.
Wow. Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. And is it true that you guys only had 30 days to film this? How did that compare to working with her on some of the other films?
Well, I think the only film that we've ever done together where like we had lots of time and lots of money, or like not lots of money, but like enough, is On the Rocks. I think the other ones were always a little bit like, you know, I don't know, like we could have had more hands. Like I feel like I remember on The Beguiled after lunch, it was like all hands on deck because we had to get all six girls or seven girls. I can't remember how many there were. There was Nicole. Anyway, we had to get them all back in corsets. And we had a small team. Like I feel like we had one costumer or two costumer, so it's like it was everyone had to be there on set to get them back in their corsets because
Yes. No, I was like, for the Beguiled, it's hard because it's like, yeah, Nicole, Kirsten, Elle, like all of Sophia's regular players in that film, which I love so much. But yes, that I'm
yeah.
obsessed with the costumes in that as well. It was there. I read Elvis and Me, and I absolutely loved Priscilla's story. And I feel like Sophia's vision is so much like the book. But for you, what were you the most excited of Priscilla's wardrobe to kind of create and make? I personally loved the wedding dress, and I want to ask you about that as well. But for you, as the designer, what was like one of her looks that you were like, I can't wait to do this?
So many. Actually, one of them that I loved, and we never actually shot the scene where she wore it. Um, we did make and we used it. So I loved there was a dress that she wore. It was white with a black bow, and she wore it coming off a plane with Elvis, and it was the day after, like the real day was the day after they got married. They came off of his private plane and someone got a photograph of them, and she was wearing this white dress with the black bow. And we didn't have that scene in our movie. We didn't have a plane. We didn't have the day after the wedding. We had the so I ended up making that dress anyway and using it when she they were watching the 68 special.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, that dress sounds amazing. What was it like to create the wedding dress? Talk to me about that because it
Oh,
looks so much like the still of Priscilla and Elvis. But that shot with Kaylee and Jacob is just stunning of when you first see her in the gown in the
right.
film.
Well, Chanel made the wedding dress, which was an incredible gift that only Sophia could bring to the costume department. She works with Chanel, and I mean, I've told this story so many times, but I actually think that what happened, she was like, it was your idea. And I said, like, actually, I think it was my idea for another project. But I feel like regardless, it is the right idea. Whoever came up with it on this one, because I remember like another project being like, and then maybe Chanel can make the wedding dress because it was a period project and it was at that time. Anyway, then we however it came up, we talked about Chanel making this wedding dress, but and Sophia asked them and they graciously agreed to do it. But it really like the dress, like when I think of it, the original one, like it very well could have been, it wasn't, but it could have been Chanel. Like it was this beautiful lace and it had pearls encrusted into the lace. Like, there's no reason why the original one, she bought it off the rack. It wasn't Chanel, but I feel like it could have been.
It could
And
have been, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. That high neck lace is just so gorgeous. How did obviously like I've listened to Kaylee talk about becoming Priscilla's in so many different conversations, and I listened to your guys' Q&A at the Middleburg Film Festival locally here. But what was it like for Kaylee and Jacob to kind of step into the creations that you made for them, and how that helped them get into character? Did you like see it in their eyes? Like, I specifically want to ask about Jacob getting into the iconic Vegas Elvis suit for the first time.
So the first time, so those suits take a long time to make. They're made by a company called BK Enterprises that uses the original patterns that from the original designer, and it they take 6 months. But as you know, we shot the movie in 6 weeks, and we had 6 weeks prep. Like, we never had 6 months. There was not 6 months in the entirety of the making of the film. So the very first time I met Jacob, which was the very first fitting, that was essentially just to do measurements and, you know what I mean, maybe try on a shoe or something. I don't know, but like, the first time I met him, we tried on a prototype of the um like, I had someone, he was in England shooting a film, we had someone go there to take measurements, then a prototype was built based on the measurements, and then the first time I saw him, we tried that, a template of the jumpsuit, and they were really kind to rush it for us for
Wow.
this film.
Wow, that's honestly incredible. Did Kaylee or Jacob or you or Sophia, did you take home any particular costume after? Where did they go?
Kaylee took home a sweater, some things, and no, I think Jacob would have loved to take home all of his Valentino clothes, and so would I have liked to take home all of his Valentino clothes. I was like, I'm so cold. Can I wear the sweater?
For real, that would have been
They were
me.
so nice. But we had to give them back. Like, the wedding dress went back to Chanel. The Valentino clothes went to Valentino. A lot of the other costumes are um, at a rental house. We gave them, we did a deal. We traded them basically to a rental house, or sold them, or whatever you want to say, but just because it helped with the budget aspect.
Okay, no, I understand that. That makes sense. Do you have a personal favorite scene in the film?
Oh my God, so many.
I
But
know.
I think one of my favorite scenes is, like, for the purpose of our story, is the scene where she waves goodbye to Elvis in Germany, because I think up until that point, when she's been with Elvis, the scenes were intimate, right? He was her Elvis in her eyes, how she saw him. And I think that's like a moment where she sees him as part of the world. So
No, yeah, it
and
is.
like
And
rock
she
star,
can tell
like,
how heartbroken she is when he's,
yeah.
kind of goes off
Yes,
as he does.
Kaylee has the most incredible facial expressions.
Yes.
She's like, I feel like I've never seen somebody who can, like, say so much with the twitch of their eyelashes or whatever. She really, when I watch the movie, I feel like she's just such a great actress.
She honestly is. And I was when I
I
was
mean, both
chatting.
of them are, but
Oh, of course. Yes. I've spoken with Jacob a few times for some of his other work. And I spoke with Kaylee a little bit. And I was just telling her how incredible it was, like, to see the Priscillas over, 14 years or whatever it was. Because there's like the young girl that we meet when she becomes Priscilla, and then kind of afterward when she comes into her own. And I thought it was really interesting when the two of you were talking about denim and finally seeing Priscilla in denim towards the end of the film. What significance is that?
well, so Elvis liked to dress, right? Like, he did not wear denim. I think he considered denim to be working class. Like, I think maybe later he wore denim when he was riding horses, but even then, like, I've only ever seen one photo of a denim, like on the ranch. He might have worn denim, but he got dressed. Like, one of the stories that Priscilla told us is that he never left his bedroom. Like, he didn't come downstairs in his pajamas. He always got dressed in the morning. So I think to see her in jeans, like, it is subtle, and it's like a story that maybe only we know. Like, he never says in the movie, "I don't like jeans," but that she put them on, that she's coming into herself, I guess.
No, I love that. It's more of a like this is kind of who I am and who I want to be, and you can
Yeah,
definitely see that in the wardrobe at towards the end of the
yeah.
film for sure.
Well, I think that's also informed by that photo of them where, he's in that blue suit and she's in the lavender top, because I think, like, at that point in their relationship, they really, like, even just visually, like, if I knew nothing about their story, they look different to me. They look like 2 different, like, prior to that, they're people on the same plane. At that point, they just, like, she's, like, paring down her makeup, paring down her clothes, and he's, like, more jewelry, more eye makeup, more sideburns, bigger collars. So
Yes.
it's like they're the exact opposite, and, you know what I mean? They're really, like, to me, that's such a visual demarcation of how and when they grew apart.
No, I totally agree, and you get that in the film too. Last question for you. Were you able to talk with Priscilla after she saw the film for the first time? I know I believe it was at the Venice Film Festival, but did you get
Yeah.
a chance to chat with her after?
I wasn't at Venice, but I was at Sophia's book party, and Priscilla was there, and I did get to speak to her a little at Sophia's book party, and she was super kind and very, she's a very graceful woman.
No, she definitely is. Well, what is your favorite part of Sophia's book? Because the whole thing is gorgeous, and I haven't even
I
fully
mean,
finished it
I
yet.
don't I feel like I love the whole book too. There's so much in there.
What yeah, I guess, like, so what is another question I actually just quickly had for you. What is the difference in dressing a person who's like a real life person? Like, obviously, Priscilla and the Bling Ring were based off of real life people. I know The Beguiled was also a novel adaptation, but you kind of, I guess, have more to work on from, the actual Bling Ring's wardrobe, or, Priscilla's
Right.
actual wardrobe. What's the difference in doing, is there a difference for you as a costume designer?
Well, I think, yes, sure. I think, with the bling ring, I would say we paid a little bit less attention to who they were and did maybe more about, what was attractive to us, or, like, well, because I think, like, people don't know, like Elvis and Priscilla's wedding photo is really famous,
Of course.
right? Like, almost, like, I feel like that photo of her in the pink dress when she has just given birth to Lisa Marie, like, I knew that photo.
Oh, 100%. It's yes.
People know that stuff, and I feel like the bling ring, we were able to take a little bit more liberty, and that's not to say that we didn't, look at the people, but I remember us talking about it and being like, "Okay, they have to have, like, we want them in juicy sweatsuits, but they also have to have cell phones."
Yeah.
So I think we took a little bit more liberty in the bling ring than we did
I just
with.
remember that, yeah, the iconic scenes where they're shopping all at like the
Yeah.
kitsch stores in Los Angeles. And it's very cool that you guys were able to use Paris Hilton's actual house in
Yes.
that as well. And you got to use all of her actual, I guess, like wardrobe too, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we got to use our wardrobe, but we didn't use it as costumes.
Got it.
We just used it as, like, set decorating, and then we did, like, slip in things to into her closet that were gonna then later be worn.
Oh, that's a fun tidbit. All of Sophia's movies are truly a 5 out of 5 for me, but I particularly love like the Bling Ring and of course Priscilla as well. Stacey, this was so nice to chat, and
It
I
was nice
cannot.
to talk to you, Lauren.
Yes, so nice to chat, and I cannot wait for audiences nationwide to see Priscilla when it comes out
I
this
know.
Friday.
I
Finally.
hope they're gonna love it.
I think that, oh, they're definitely going to love it. It's getting insanely incredible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes from what I've seen, and all of my colleagues have been loving it. So again, congratulations to you.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Lauren. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you too. Bye, Stacy. Bye.
Bye.